This is a world untethered from logic. In this era, a wild, predatory magic constantly pushes against the edges of human settlements, making every forest path a gamble with an unpredictable threat. Finist is the only man who seems to thrive here. He's a warrior of immense skill, but his focus isn't on protection, it's on the optics. When he wrestles a magical boar to the ground, he's more concerned with the crowd's applause than the safety of the crops. That vanity drives him to a tower in the wilderness, seeking a legendary monster just to add another chapter to his own myth. But the beast is faster than the story suggested. One strike leaves Finist broken on the floor, blinded by a face full of magical venom. Blindness does more than end his career. It erases his identity. The villagers who once chanted his name now walk past him as he begs for scraps in the dirt, proving that in this world, a hero is only as valuable as his last victory. It's a brutal cycle. In this environment, magic is a volatile, untamable force that eventually consumes anyone arrogant enough to think they've mastered it. But across the wastes, there is a place where the chaos has been silenced. This geometric palace is a fortress of absolute order, guarded by metallic sentinels that move with a precision no living creature could match. The man inside claims he has solved the problem of mortality itself. Through a strictly controlled regimen of chemical serums, this scientist has maintained his youth and his empire for 5 centuries. This diagram illustrates his core philosophy. To the scientist, magic is a raw material to be refined. He doesn't worship the mystical, he traps it. We see a genie of infinite power, siphoned from its lamp and compressed into a standardized battery. When he meets the broken Finist, the scientist offers a miracle of engineering. He provides a pair of high-tech glasses that bypass Finist's damaged nerves, restoring his sight and instantly turning the warrior into his most loyal asset. On the surface, it looks like a perfect trade. The scientist offers a world of structure, safety, and sight to replace the messy violence of the woods. But every machine requires a power source, and this level of perfection usually demands a hidden sacrifice. Finist leads the hunt from the deck of a metallic saucer, using long-range sensors to track the creature that took his eyes. With the scientist's technology, the terrifying beast of the mountains is no longer a myth, it's just a target. They deploy a specialized containment unit and spring the trap. But when the dust settles, the cage doesn't hold a monster. It holds a princess, terrified and alone. The monster was a defense mechanism. She carries a curse that triggers an involuntary transformation the moment a human makes physical contact with her. A biological shield that has kept her in a state of permanent, tragic isolation. Finist realizes the warrior's glory he was chasing was a lie. He wasn't tracking a predator. He was capturing a victim who had been using the mountains as a self-imposed prison to keep the world safe from herself. Back at the palace, the miracle of the scientist's technology is revealed as massive industrial theft. These glass vats are filled with the very magical creatures that make the outside world so vibrant, all hooked into a network of extraction tubes. This is parasitic extraction. The machines don't create energy, they harvest it. A bird's life force is drained, filtered, and condensed into a sterile vial, then injected into robotic guards. Every automated movement is powered by stolen vitality. Even the scientist's 500-year lifespan is a result of this theft. He isn't a master of medicine, he is a biological looter, drinking the concentrated essence of nature to stave off his own decay. This is why the princess was captured. Her curse represents a massive reservoir of magical energy, a battery powerful enough to keep the scientist's mechanical empire running for another century. The scientist's progress is an illusion. He hasn't replaced magic with technology, he's simply killing the natural world to keep his artificial one on life support. Rejecting the scientist's order, Finist makes a final physical connection. He grabs the princess's hand, intentionally triggering the very transformation he once feared. The beast erupts within the lab, tearing through the metallic restraints. Desperate to protect his investment, the scientist enters the fray inside a massive magic-powered turtle robot, turning his palace into a battlefield of steel versus scales. Finist loses his technological glasses in the struggle, falling back into his initial darkness. But this time he isn't helpless. He listens to the guidance of the witch Baba Yaga, navigating by sound to find the machine's weak points and sabotage its internal gears. The machine topples, spilling its reservoir of stolen essence. Without his harvested miracles to protect him, the scientist falls into his own toxic chemical vats as his artificial world collapses around him. The curse that was supposed to isolate the princess became the only thing that could shatter the scientist's control. Her monstrous nature was the only force that couldn't be quantified or contained by his machines. In the silence after the collapse, the princess finds Finist in the wreckage. As she weeps for what he sacrificed, her tears fall into his eyes, a genuine, unrefined magical act that permanently restores his physical sight. Finist sees the world clearly for the first time. The vanity and the hunger for glory have burned away, replaced by a quiet understanding of what it actually means to be a hero in a world that can't be controlled. The resolution is bittersweet. The curse remains, and the princess must return to her exile to protect the kingdom from herself, leaving Finist with a victory that no one will ever cheer for. As the forest begins to reclaim the rusted remains of the palace, we see the inevitable end of any system built on exploitation. A civilization that consumes the life force of its world eventually starves itself, leaving behind only the nature it tried so hard to erase.